Hello, welcome to Finding Myself Through Obesity. We are on episode 11, and today we are talking about self-love and what does self-love really mean? This is one of the things that I have been really diving deep into for at least the last year. I knew that I needed to learn how to love myself. I needed to learn how to embrace this big body, but I really didn't know how to do that until I found this work that my mentor Angel has been teaching me. And I wanted to share something that I noticed about the education of self-love. A lot of times people will think that self-love is physically doing things for yourself. So like having a bubble bath or getting your nails done, getting your hair done, buying clothes for yourself, like things that are on the outside of you. A lot of times people think that that is what self-love is. Even standing up for yourself or getting rid of toxic people out of your life. And I know all those things are very important. But for me, I feel like there is this missing piece of self-love that is deeper, that goes into our thoughts, the stories that we've been telling ourselves, the lies that we've been telling ourselves for so long. And so I think the most important part of self-love is really getting deep into your brain and figuring out what are your belief systems, are they serving you, and what do you want to change in your life as far as how you are showing up for yourself, and more emotionally and spiritually than anything physical. That's what I've noticed on my journey. One quote that I just saw from Byron Katie is she said, "If you want to find the love of your life, look in the mirror." And I just did a post about it on my social media because I felt like that was such a big aha moment for me, because I was always looking outside of me to find love, to find people who would love me. And when I was with people who loved me, then I felt like I loved myself or I accepted myself. But it's not a real true self-love. So when you break it down and you think about finding the love of your life by looking in the mirror, all it means is that you are the only one that you can control. You are the only one that you really need love from. If you can have your own unconditional self-love, then it doesn't matter what else you get from other people, because you already know who you are and you already love and respect the person that you are. Other people loving you, I think, is like the cherry on top. And once you can have that unconditional love for yourself, your love expands and you're able to love others even more. I've always felt like I had a gift to love other people. I easily love people. I am a people person, and it's easy for me to love you and to look at the good in you. And I'm grateful for that gift, but I haven't had that same grace and compassion for myself. Another quote that I really like is, "It's not your job to like me, it's mine." It's crazy how much time I have wasted trying to get the love and approval from everyone else, and I honestly didn't know any other way. And when I go into this 12-week class with Angel and all of these amazing ladies, a lot of us will say, "Why didn't we learn this so many years ago?" Or we see some of the young girls that are in our class, and we're so grateful that they're learning how to have that unconditional love for yourself at such a young age. One of the really important things that I've been taught is that we don't have to do anything to be worthy. A lot of us have this core belief underneath all the things that we are afraid we're not going to be enough, or we're not going to be loved, or we are going to be alone. And we think that we have to do certain things in order to earn those things from other people. And it's just a lie. It's a flat out lie. When I think about it, my body being 300 pounds versus my body being 150 pounds, I am still the same person. I still have the same value. I still have the same spirit. I still have the same name, parents, family, kids. My value does not change with the size of my body. And I think the first step would be to align with truth. And that is exactly what I'm doing in this podcast. I am unloading all of the darkness that I have been hiding from the light. I wanted to put the good things out there, but not the bad things about myself. And I was hiding not only all those things from everyone else, but myself mostly. And like I've been telling you, I feel like that is why my body was getting heavier. It was protecting me because I could not reveal who I really was because I didn't want to look at it. And now that I'm able to look at it and reveal it and be honest about it, then I can start belonging to me and I can start taking responsibility for myself, and then life can start changing and I can start building something better for myself, but it's going to be aligned with truth, aligned with what I want and not aligned with people pleasing or aligned with what other people want for me or from me. One of the questions you can ask yourself is, what are the belief systems that are keeping me from peace, joy, and creativity? If you will look at Byron Katie and her work, she has free worksheets that you can go through your life and figure out, just like I've been doing on this podcast, figure out the areas in your life that you're not happy with and go through them and see what your thoughts are about them and figure out what is truth. So first it says, is it true? So is your thought true? Second, can you absolutely know that it's true with no doubt? And then the third question you can ask is, how do you react when you believe that thought? And you can go through that and see how you show up believing that thought. And then you ask yourself, who would I be without this thought? And it helps you just be more aware of what is actually true versus what is your story, what you've been told, what you thought was true, but maybe really isn't true. The most important relationship is the mind's relationship with itself. The only relationship you have is the relationship with your own thoughts. So there are a lot of things out there in the world about self-love. For any of my listeners, I would encourage you to stop doing all the external things and start really listening to your thoughts and listening to the things that you're feeling discord in your life, things that you're not happy with or satisfied with, and find out what your thoughts are about it and your belief systems are about it and see what you come up with. You may be able to have some freedom from a lot of pain that you've been carrying because of the belief systems that you have grabbed onto that have helped you survive something that maybe isn't serving you anymore. It is an amazing feeling to be able to look at myself in the mirror and be able to feel love and compassion for myself and not judge myself. I still have to catch myself sometimes when I look at pictures, but I'm having more compassion for me, and I'm really grateful for that. I couldn't look at myself with self-compassion and love until I was willing to look at the truth and take responsibility for the life that I have created for myself and take responsibility for what I have done and what my part is. And it is very freeing. I have a lot of stuff still coming up for me. There are a lot of changes that are going to be happening in my family, and I will be talking about that more as we go on, but I still have a lot of things to learn. And I am so grateful for my mentor, Angel. She is mentoring me every week, and I actually am thinking about putting part of our mentoring sessions on this podcast so that you can see the process of really figuring out how to unpack all these things. So you can see the process of coming to the truth and seeing yourself in the light and also seeing yourself in those dark corners. I started to read The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. I'm excited to see what I learn while reading that book, because in her book, she's doing the same thing that I'm doing on this podcast, really shedding light to the dark places in her life. And that was the freedom from her addiction to drugs and alcohol. I have one more episode of the Emotional Weight series, and then we will be going on to something new. And I have no idea what I will be sharing, but I do know that it will be true and it will be my experience And hopefully it will be inspiring to you and inspire you to look at your dark sides and to expose the truth and to see that we are all human beings. We are all having this human experience and that none of us are perfect. And that's the beauty of our lives, is that we are here to learn and grow. And if we could get our thoughts wrapped around truth, then we will be able to see the world with more loving, compassionate eyes. And that's what I'm most excited for. Again, thank you for being here. I had one of my high school friends reach out to me, send me a text about my podcast, and it meant so much to me that she would take the time to text me and thank me for sharing all this vulnerable stuff. It makes it worth it when I know that it's making a difference to someone else. So thank you to my friend. It would mean so much to me if you would give this podcast a review. It would help other people who are struggling with obesity be able to find my podcast, and hopefully they will be able to uncover their secrets and uncover their emotional weight, get healthy, and live a life full of joy, creativity, and happiness. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for being here with me.